Filler episodes. I think one of the biggest problems of making a show is trying to fill it with the stuff you want to fill a show with. You know, studio only has so much time to record a season of a show, and for animators' sake, they have a strict deadline that they have to meet, or else, fuck you. Almost every single show has filler in one way or another. And it's not a bad thing. It's just the way things go. If you have a show, you gotta have a few episodes that don't progress the plot. And that's what a filler episode really is. It doesn't mean a bad episode. It doesn't mean necessarily it's gonna be worse. It just means it's gonna be, not very advantageous to the story of the plot. That made no sense. It just means the show's not gonna be advantageous to progressing the plot of the show. Some of the episodes that are considered filler in some shows are some of the best episodes of their shows. The Pine Barrens. The Sopranos Season 3 is the weakest season, obviously, because of the cut storyline, because of Nancy Mershon's passing. So they had to go to other things, such as Gloria and Jackie Jr. and Meadows' romance, which is one of the worst subplots in a good show. God damn, I hated that. But makes up for it in The Pine Barrens. You have this episode with two of the best characters in the show, objectively, that being Chrissy and Paulie, in the woods stuck together. Some of the best lines of the entire show in that episode. That guy we've been chasing in the woods, he killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit. It's fantastic. With that being said, The Fly. The Fly is a notorious filler episode from Breaking Bad's third season. It comes in the latter half of season 3, so it's gotta fill a hole somewhere. That's the whole purpose of the episode, is to fill a hole. And it's not a bad episode. It's just the one that people either love or hate, because it's unashamedly filler. The episode takes place in one area, and that being the meth lab. And it's about Walt and Jesse trying to kill a fly. That's the entire episode. That's the whole plot of the episode. To be fair, it's more intricate than that. And to be honest, it's actually not a bad episode. It's really good and represents a point of the show I think no other episode does. At least to the power that The Fly does it, because of all the time it has to develop its asinine plot. And the actual underlying purpose of the episode is not very deliberate. So we start with Walt as he's in the lab doing stuff, checking out things, and then he sees a fly at the corner of his eye. This is the episode, guys. He tries to kill the fly the entire episode. Now, to be fair, Jesse's in the episode too, so we got two characters, one area. Oh, that's three characters because of the fly. But the episode just starts with Walt trying to kill this fly in a very slapstick manner, very Tom and Jerry-esque. He almost kills himself trying to kill it at first. Jesse comes in, and being the voice of reason that he is, he's like, this is dumb. We make poison for people. Why do we care about a stupid fly? And of course, Walt doesn't accept no for an answer. I think the point of this episode is more than just filler. In fact, I think it's a great representation of how Walter manipulates Jesse. Walter manipulating Jesse. I'm going to edit that in there and it's going to look stupid. Because you get to see exactly how Walt gets Jesse to do this dumb stuff that Jesse ends up doing for Walt. It's most of the show, they're in conflict with each other. Usually at arms about issues like, killing people, selling drugs. And Jesse's usually the person who's like, this is dangerous, why are we going to do this? And Walt's always like, because we need the money, Jesse. We need the money. Jesse, I don't have enough money yet. Walter, you have $80 million. I think you have enough money, bro. But the way this episode represents this manipulation so well, it's simple. You become the one manipulated. Not just Jesse, but you, the viewer. Because at the end of the episode, you want this fly dead. You are personally invested in the death of this fucking fly. This insect. It is an insect. And you want it dead. And you want to see it die. How do you feel wanting to see something die?
Not bad at all.
What ain't your fault? Walter White told you to do it. Because of the persistent manner of Walter White and his character being the way he is, he's able to manipulate people through sheer annoyance, dedication, and overall, by the end of it, you'll be either wanting to prove him wrong, wanting to get whatever he wants done over with because he's not going to shut up about it, or 3, you will actually want to do what he wants to do. He will make you want to do the very thing you fought so long not to even give a shit about. Yeah, that's a synopsis of The Fly. I think it's really good, and I think it's one of the best episodes of the show on its own right. You know, it's a study separate from the every other episode, because it's an episode you could take out of the show and nothing would be removed from the plot. Maybe the whole Jane thing, you know, when he apologizes about Jane, because it leads on to an Ozymandias when he tells him that he watched Jane die. So yeah, that's my video on The Fly.